killing spree of gold and bald eagles. He faces up to 13 years in prison. Researchers in Seattle have unveiled a new blood test that detects colon cancer. The study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, analyzed results from nearly 8,000 people. The new test accurately detected colon cancer 83% of the time. Life expectancy in Washington counties varies by as much as 11 years. The latest health rankings and roadmaps report shows that San Juan County's cluster of islands in Puget Sound has the state's highest life expectancy at 86.3 years. Pend Oreille County had the lowest average with 74.9 years. Stevens County ranked near the middle with 78.3 years. A new law requires all eggs sold in Washington to be cage-free. It went into effect January 1st, and some people say it's the reason egg prices are rising. Experts say you can expect some initial price increase during this transition year, then a leveling out to prices similar to a year or two ago. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie. Good morning. It's the Friday morning KCHW morning show with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Scott Allen. Good morning, Scott.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chuck. Good morning. All right. Exciting as we head into the weekend.
Right?
Ready for it. Totally ready for it.
It's going to be a busy one.
Don't do nothing.
What are you doing today? Nothing.
Nothing. No, I've got it down to a science.
Oh, good. Man. Then you can do this thing for me.
I checked your weather so I could do weather this morning. Then I checked my weather, and very disturbing. It's like 16 degrees out. Beautiful sunny day, 16. Daytime high of 30 here in Maine. And then tomorrow, we're getting our biggest snowstorm of the year, 12 inches. Welcome to spring.
Oh, man. And I was going to come in complaining that it was a little chilly this morning after this warm weather we've had. And there was a little, not quite frost, but right on the verge this morning. A little fog on the windshield. Sorry.
And people are weird over here. So, like in Washington, if you need to go to the store, you go to the store, even if it's snowing or there's a storm. But like I'm thinking, I need a few things before I get trapped with this foot of snow. But you don't want to go to the store because people do not move when it's snowing here. There's nobody on the road. I feel sorry for businesses. It's just, it turns into a ghost town. But today, it'll be nuts. I mean, you're going to be standing in the line at the grocery store forever. They prep like it's World War II you're going into, not a snowstorm.
I've been there. I've seen that happen.
Right. For you, though, today, 61 under partly cloudy skies today, becoming cloudy during the afternoon. Occasional showers overnight, down to 43, not too bad. Then you run into a little cooling trend. The warm weather you've been enjoying is over for a bit. Saturday, 48 and 35 with rain. Sunday, possible morning snow showers. 47 for a high, though. Won't stick around. 30 for an overnight low. Could make things icy. Monday, 51 and 34. Tuesday, 53 and 35. Partly cloudy Monday. Mostly cloudy on Tuesday. Rain snow mix for Wednesday morning with a daytime high of 49. Looks like next week right around 50 most of the week. So not too bad, and probably your normal spring weather. And you guys can always use that moisture, especially if it deposits a little snow up in the hills. That's always a good thing.
But it looks like maybe after the weekend we might be getting back up into those low 60s, kissing 60 degrees a little bit. So pretty nice weather.
Kissing 16.
Yeah, sorry.
Horrible.
Sorry.
Horrible. Breakfast today for the kids, cereal bar, yummy yogurts, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunch, a typical Friday fare, hamburger, hot dog, French fries, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, pudding, and a milk choice. And then I'm guessing maybe the beginning of spring break or something next week. I see no school on Thursday and Friday next week. So.
I believe it is that time of year.
All right. Tickets, big show tonight, right?
That is correct. It's tonight at 7 p.m. All right. The other day, I know they were saying the tickets for tonight's show were very close to being sold out. There might be a few at varying locations. I'm not sure. I didn't check in on the current status of those.
So call and check first.
Yep.
But there is a show tonight at 7:00. Wizard of Oz play. Could be a fun Friday night. Then again, in this Stage Time Theater, 61 kids. I think Chuck said yesterday. That's crazy.
61. Yeah.
Let's see. We got a 10 a.m. a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. and then a matinee and a 7 o'clock show again on Sunday. So get your tickets. Get them today.
Go. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna message Sharon right now and see if she has a current update on tickets. Maybe she'll get to us by the end of the show and we can give you guys an update.
What a great idea!
There you go.
Other than that, looks like we have some pickleball this morning at 9 o'clock. That takes place at the old middle school. And Chamber of Commerce meeting already underway. Home and Garden Show with Chuck Ritchie broadcasting live. That's going to take place at the gym at Guess Elementary, if I'm correct. That's what it's always been.
That is correct. That is correct. You know, I always look forward to that. And I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, that there have been times in the past where I know myself, and I've talked with other people that tried to hire folks to do some work around their house around the year and have been told, you should have been to the Home and Garden Show because we booked up that day for the entire summer.
I had a local contractor one time tell me at the end of it, he walked up to me and said, "This was awesome. Thanks for being here." He goes, "I have my entire," he goes, "if all these that I'm sure are going to pan out, I've got my entire summer filled of work."
Yep.
So we've heard that a couple times. So, if you get there early, I guess, and talk to the contractors and get on the list, you want to be first, right?
Exactly. And it's, I've seen that in other communities too, where a lot of communities have their annual Home and Garden Show, and it's a huge, I myself used to have a handyman business, and man, if we didn't make those morning shows, we had a hard time getting work for the summer, but if we did, we were booked every time.
You said morning show, but you meant hitting the Home and
Garden Show. Home and Garden Show. Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, it's all right.
Yeah, come on the morning show. We'll book you up for the whole summer. No, we won't.
Yeah, you're here every day because we want it off.
Right.
All right. I think got everything covered there on the Home and Garden Show. I'm going to click on it because it does say 2 more below, but I think that's the 7 o'clock show. And let's see if we missed anything. No, I was just karaoke at Fired Up Pizza tonight too.
And there's a couple things looking ahead. There's the Roots meeting for the farmers market. That's going to be, what is that, March 30th? March 30th, a little heads up if you want to learn more about the farmers market and how it's run and get in there and meet all the folks. That's going to be March 30th at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Fellowship. And I think were there a couple other things ahead of time here? There might be, but...
There is, and I think the deadline is the 26th, which is beginning of next week. Don't forget the deadline to help out the St. Joseph's Hospital Guild with their baskets. You can see those at the cafeteria and bid on them at the hospital, and you can see them at Acres United Drug as well.
There you go. And farmers market starting May 10th.
There you go. Hey, Chuck, what's your astrological sign?
I'm a Virgo.
You are a Virgo. All right, let's see what Chuck's horoscope is today. Ooh. He's had a busy past couple days and picked up a bunch of new skills. I'm going to say publicly, Chuck, there's been a few times where the technology around the radio station had kind of befuddled you. There was that one time you turned off the tower and we couldn't get it back on.
That was really more a matter of clicking the off instead of cycle button. And when you turn the internet off at the tower instead of recycle it, it doesn't come back on its own, Scott.
We were sharing a computer last night, and he went into a software, and I sent him a text message, Chuck, do not change anything in there.
I was just looking. I was just checking the settings. Just checking the settings.
But I do want to say publicly that you've came a long way, and this last trip you did up to the tower there Wednesday, you set up that whole computer and basically made a clone of our main radio station computer, sat it up himself, got it up there, got it installed, did some new networking. If you probably noticed, we have a few hiccups going on. We're working on it behind the scenes. There's so many places it could come from because we have different internet at the tower. We have different internet at the studio. And then plus we use services to send that stream. And we are just having a heck of a time figuring out who's causing the problem. But we know it's not us.
But nothing we replaced didn't need to be replaced anyway. So there's that.
But no, you've been doing an excellent job,
Thank you.
Chuck Ritchie, and catching on to the technology.
Oh, shucks.
All right. So your horoscope today says, Chuck, people might make fun of you for being so organized. I can't picture that at all, though.
Nope. That's never a thing I've been accused of.
All right. For you, at least, today shows everyone exactly what they're missing as you cruise to success.
Ooh,
wow.
There you go. I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it.
Mine is horribly boring to go along with this storm. Take care of all the small stuff that you need to cross off your to-do list today. It may be boring, but it needs to get done, and you've got the time. Which makes me feel like,
man, you are one pathetic loser.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you know what?
What?
I got a text back from Sharon. She's got some updates about those tickets for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to hear it?
Yes.
So there's only a few left online. There's Summit Acres and Valley Drug and a few at the box office. And, that's for the show in general. None anywhere for Friday night. Tonight's show is entirely sold out.
Sold out, baby. All right. And so you can still get your tickets for Saturday and Sunday, though. 5 more shows there. Yeah. All right.
Better hurry because I'm about to buy some for Sunday, which I forgot to do yesterday.
Few news headlines. This is how fast, and it amazes me how fast society reacts because of the internet. Cancel culture. Planet Fitness stock has plummeted yesterday after a woman's membership went viral because it was canceled because she took pictures of a man. Oh. All right, doesn't sound that bad, but the man was in the woman's locker room shaving.
What?
So she took a picture of it and complained. They canceled her membership, and and how did the world, and or at least Americans, how did they respond to that viral clip? They have sold their stock.
Wow.
Like immediately. Isn't that crazy? I mean, automatic, instantaneous, I should say, effect of a viral video. That's crazy.
But why would they get rid of her membership? That doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge trans advocate, and I really think we should just have doors in bathrooms, that lock and
it doesn't say that it was a trans man. Right. It doesn't say that it was a trans man. It just said that it was a man shaving.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This isn't that situation. There was a dude in the women's locker room shaving.
Yeah.
That's not cool. They should have punished him, not her.
I'm guessing. And it is just a guess, but I think it's probably an educated guess. I'm guessing in your membership terms, there is a clause that says you may not take pictures of other people in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Guys can be gross, and and maybe women too. Who knows? But I imagine that's a privacy thing. They don't allow pictures in there, and she violated that by taking a picture of them. But it was a safety issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, some rules shouldn't be in cement, but sometimes they are.
Maybe he used the wrong bathroom.
He could have. I did that at a restaurant one time. Started to walk into the wrong one. Luckily, caught myself. And people looked at me kind of funny and said, "I've got one eye and I can't see out of the good one."
Once in high school, we were at a visiting school, getting ready before we had to go the day before. We had a practice on the field the night before. The home team was using their own locker room. Of course, they didn't want us in there, so they put us in the girls' locker room to get ready for our practice the evening before. I'd had an upset stomach, and I was in there for a little longer than the rest of the team. The rest of the team got ready and went out on the field. I was still in the bathroom, in the stall, and before you know it, the cheerleading team walks in and starts getting ready as I'm still in the stall. And, being the high school student, a little paranoid and freaked out by the situation, I just remained as quietly as possible and waited and waited and waited, and they weren't leaving. And it was like an hour. I was missing practice. And finally, I'm like, hello? I have to get out of here.
Wow.
One of the most, in a series of awkward moments throughout my life, that was probably one of the top 3.
Wow, you should have just kicked the door open.
In hindsight, I should have, the first one walked in, been like, "Hey, I'm still in here." And yeah.
All right.
Awkward moments.
Let's see other news stories. A few headlines. Lita James' office filed judgments in Westchester County in New York, a sign that she's preparing to seize former President Donald Trump's assets there, including a golf course and a private estate, if he doesn't meet the Monday deadline to pay $464 million bond. No one's apparently judges have jumped forward as of yet to try and stop that or make changes to it. We'll see what happens by the end of the day Monday. On his horizon, though, if shareholders vote today to approve Trump Media's merger with a blank check company, Trump will own a dominant stake in a public company with shares worth more than $3 billion at current market prices. And of course, we're talking about Truth Social looking to go public. Probably find out today if that happens or not. The problem is, though, he won't be able to monetize that stake right away and be able to help him. So that'll be kind of tough. Typically something that a surety insurance will not loan on.
Right.
The other thing I would say for somebody maybe wanting to invest in that, or if he tries to sell some of that stock to make money, you got to realize if he doesn't win, I mean, my big question would be as far as an investment, if he doesn't win the election, and let's say he's old, he could pass, any of us can, but he could pass away tomorrow. If something happens to him or he doesn't win the election, what's going to happen to Truth Social?
Right.
I mean, that's a dumpster fire.
Right.
You can just take that and X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know. I don't see that as, I mean, if I had millions of dollars to invest, it would be the last place I would spend it.
Right. And that's even if he was in good health, it would be a dumpster fire in the last place you'd want to invest your money.
Yeah. All right. Warning from the CDC about ticks. 63,000 cases of Lyme disease reported to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2022. According to a report released last month, that was a 70% jump than cases reported in 2021. Now, they have changed some of their techniques for trying to track it, which could have added to it, but they say that number is grossly underreported, and that because of the mild winter, we are going to be swarmed this year with ticks, and the likelihood of Lyme disease could really shoot up there. Now, I'm sure that each state has a different process for that. Here in Maine, you take the tick, you put some rubbing alcohol in a baby jar, and you put the tick in it, and you can send it to the University of Maine, and within 48 hours, they'll tell you whether that tick had Lyme disease or not. So, I don't know about the rest of the country, but I'm sure there's other ways to check as well as a doctor to make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
So.
And I know even in our area, it's a concern. There was, when I was working up at the golf course, there were some volunteers that were doing some landscaping work, and a lot of the stuff they were working with, I believe, had ticks in it. And at least one or two of the women that were doing the landscaping work got Lyme disease from those ticks up there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So be careful.
It was a bad year, and it was going around. So
I guess if I found a tick on me, I'd just automatically assume that I probably got it and head for the doctor.
And if you're going to be out in the woods doing work, wear some bug repellent. It's not foolproof, but it does help keep them away a little bit. Wear socks.
Next story.
Yeah.
Next story is how you raise your kids. How are you raising your kids? Lakewood police in Denver have identified two young female suspects and caught them, or one of them at least, who viciously attacked and beat a man at a rail station. One of the suspects is expected to turn herself in. Was expected yesterday, and they're still looking for the other one. The victim was waiting on a platform, just standing there waiting for a train. According to police, the two girls, one 15 and the second one 18, which she's going to be in a lot of trouble, asked the man for a cigarette, and when he said no, one of the teens started yelling at him and began punching him, holding him down by his hair. The other suspect stood by yelling racial slurs. It was an Asian man, so this will be, a hate crime.
Yeah.
These girls are going to be in a lot of trouble. So the victim in this case, an Asian male in his 20s, and from what he told police, the racial part of it was the big part of the assault. Said it's bad enough of when you have a senseless assault, but when it's racially motivated as well, that makes it even more concerning to us. That's a statement from the Lakewood police.
Wow.
Scary.
And that talking about parents
raises girls to do
right.
that. That's kind of scary.
That kind of parenting, the racism and that kind of stuff, that is definitely stuff that gets handed down. The kids learn that stuff at home.
It is,
Yeah.
and maybe inappropriate in a way to talk about on the air is my dad had a problem with people of Asian lineage because of his time in World War II. I mean, and that is one thing. We were talking about military and that horrible Marine commercial they have out there that just kind of glorifies killing people. And that is one of our problems with, I think, that can happen in military situations is you're taught to hate the people you have to fight. I mean, that is natural, but I don't think there's a cure for that when you come out the other side. And my dad carried that from World War II for the rest of his life. He carried that hate inside of him. I would try to make comments and like, Dad, that's not okay. And Dad, you can't say that and stuff like that. But, you're taught to hate to do your job, but then you're not taught to unhate and forgive.
Right. And my dad
I'm overgeneralizing, but it is scary.
My dad was a Vietnam vet and he has some of those same issues. And I've discussed with him, he's had a couple of times young ladies. My sister took him out once for a manicure just for fun, and he was saying some stuff and I'm like, Dad, this girl is like 20 years old. She had absolutely nothing to do with that. She probably wouldn't have supported it. If her father or grandfather was there, he probably didn't want to be there any more than you wanted to be there, and I know it's probably hard to get over that stuff, but sometimes I don't know how to do it. I don't have the advice because we haven't gone through that experience, but I would imagine, therapy and stuff has come a long way, mental health therapy, and a lot of that stuff wasn't offered to people back then. And it really probably should have been.
It should have.
So a lot of those stigmas have been sort of erased, but yeah, there was a long time where, you were considered broken or a failure if you had to go to therapy to get over some of the stuff. But
and obviously with those stories, still a problem.
Yeah. So.
Well, there was rumors or speculation around the internet today that the Royals were going to make an announcement, and they did. King Charles, of course, he was diagnosed with cancer, given 2 years to live.
Wow.
So they released that today, and I guess that's if everything goes well.
Wow. So not going to be a long reign for King Charles there.
Yeah.
So
I wonder I suppose there's a chance as he gets iller that he'll pass it on to his son early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. That's probably the good thing to do. At least, and how cool would it be as a parent to be able to see it happen, without having to pass away, to be able to see your kid take the throne. That's got to be the thrill of not even the thrill of a lifetime, the thrill of a century, Anyway.
Another great video. I'm not going to play it this morning just because of some of the words in it. I really couldn't hear any curse words, but there's a lot of underground or behind talk, and I don't want to take a chance of having something over the air. But quite entertaining to watch. A passenger, it looks like, of Middle Eastern descent, uses an anti-Semitic comment at a airline attendant. And people on the plane start to get upset about it, and he becomes a real jerk, ends up in a headlock by one of the biggest guys you've ever seen on an airplane, who just drags it. I guess he's kind of fighting the guy, trying to drag him forward, but he keeps telling him to walk. And then a guy even bigger than him comes from the front and grabs him like under the chin around the throat and starts dragging him to the front of the plane.
Wow.
Where he was promptly zip-tied and arrested. Don't do stupid stuff on planes.
No.
Come on.
I keep wondering at some point in our future, if we're not careful, they're going to have to start installing like a little prison cell on the airplanes.
A little jail cell, but open with bars so that the people exiting the plane can point and laugh as they walk by.
Right. Put you on display.
Or you just look at them and stop and say,
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Or they just strap you into a really uncomfortable seat up front with like a dunce cap on or something.
All right, last couple stories before we get to some fun stuff. Lawmakers racing today to pass the final spending plan needed for the current budget year. Long overdue action that will set funding for federal agencies and push any threats of government shutdown to the fall, where we can worry about it again. Spending set to expire for several key federal agencies at midnight Friday. House and Senate are expected to take up to spar a $1.2 trillion measure, 1.2. Combining 6 annual spending bills into one package. More than 70% of money would go to defense.
No.
Mike Johnson bringing the bill up under a streamlined process that requires 2/3 support for approval. He said it will pass. We're whipping the bill, and I expect a good number. Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's going to call for him to be removed, just like the last guy. So we could go through that all again, too. Lawmakers could miss the deadline for funding the government action in the Senate, but it should be okay even if it does, because most people are off over the weekend, and maybe they could finish it up Monday. So we'll see.
Wow. You know,
Johnson, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, it seems like, it seems like every time the budget cycle goes around, it's always like this: will we, won't we, shut down? We're going to pass this, not going to pass it. It just seems like our budget's always up in the air lately. We can't ever seem to agree on anything.
It's that division. It's gotten so bad. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson facing pressure from his own party over the support of this $1.2 trillion spending bill, with one GOP congressman also backing a Democratic petition to force through foreign aid funding. Outgoing Colorado Congressman Ken Buck, who will leave office Friday, became the first Republican lawmaker to sign House Democrats' discharge petition that aims to bypass Johnson as he refuses to allow a vote in the lower chamber of a $95 billion aid package to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. I suppose since he's leaving, he can go ahead and buck the system and make some enemies to try to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's good. It's just so sickening to see all of this stuff happening. People just vote along party lines. It's like they don't even listen to what the bills are. They don't care. There was a bipartisan border control bill. Republicans voted against it so Trump could campaign. I mean, come on.
That is the grossest thing I've seen in politics. One of the grossest things I've seen in politics in the past few years. The fact that something is needed, that they've been crying for it, and then it's offered up, and they say, no, we want Trump to sign it. I mean, that's basically, they want his name on it so he gets the credit. That's ridiculous, especially when there's such a huge problem. And we had enough illegal entries in the United States to fill up 6 states in 2022.
Right.
That's scary.
And it wasn't even, it wasn't even necessarily it was bipartisan agreed upon, but it was literally everything they wanted. Like there was very little negotiations. It was just like, okay, what do you guys want? We'll do that. And it was all in the bill. To not pass it is really disturbing. Yeah. And then complain, oh, he's not doing anything about the border. Shut up. Shut up.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's move on to I think that's my last. Oh, there's a couple more things here real quick. Let's do, I know we got some sports fans out there, even though we might not be them. Let's see. Justice Department filed an antitrust lawsuit against Apple, alleging the company made its hardware and software inaccessible to competitors. Attorney General Merrick Garland said Apple undermines apps, products, and services that otherwise make users less reliant on the iPhone. Apple said the suit could set a dangerous precedent. Lawsuit points out that iPhone users can't send secure messages to Android users, are restricted from innovative apps, and can only use Apple Pay for tap-to-pay services. It's true.
Yep.
The suit follows a crackdown on the EU, which imposed rules that stop tech companies from cornering digital markets, including one that forced Apple to allow third-party app stores. So they've had to change in the UK. Might happen in America. Upset for the NCAA men's tournament. Number 14 Oakland beat number 3 Kentucky 80-76. Oakland standout Jackie Goilk. He made 10 3-pointers and racked up 32 points overall.
Wow.
Let's see. FTC called on lawmakers to look into a large grocery chain profits after it found that they exploited shortages during the pandemic by raising prices more than necessary. Duh.
Wow.
They're still doing it.
Nuh-uh.
Go after the grocery stores and go after the food companies. I'm talking to you, Nabisco.
Right? I was having a conversation with someone. We're kind of comparing prices. It's gotten to the point to where eating out at a regular restaurant, eating at fast food, even buying your groceries from the grocery store are all pretty much around the same price.
It's true. It's true. I couldn't shame a single guy for eating out every night,
Right.
because if you want to go, and it's so hard to cook for just one person.
Yeah.
If you want to go buy all that stuff for your meal, you're going to pay. You're right. You're going to pay about the same amount.
I mean, shop for one meal, one dinner for a family of 4 at a grocery store right now. You're going to pay $40-50.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might have leftovers. You might have some stuff that you can eat again later, or, ingredients to make something else. But to get the stuff for dinner, you're still going to have to spend that much. So,
FBI data shows crime across the United States dropped 13% in 2023 from 2022. All right. Which is at odds with the public perception that crime has been rising. But they say, no, it actually went down last year. It's just the media, because they put it all in our faces.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Shakira releases a new album today called Alchemical. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, starring Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, and one of the old Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Yeah, starts today.
Not gonna lie and say I'm not excited about that one. I am. I'm gonna see that.
All right. Regina King stars in Shirley, the Netflix biopic about the first Black Congresswoman, Shirley Chisholm.
Cool.
And NCAA tournaments for the women. Women's games begin at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN 2, and men begin at 12:15 Eastern on CBS. Mega Millions tonight, $1 billion. Get your ticket now. Share with Scott and Chuck.
I have the ticket on my fridge, Scott. I'll say this pledge right here online. If I on the air, if I win, I'll give the station $1 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How about that?
All right, that should work. That might be enough. Who knows? All right.
I do think. So speaking of March Madness, I don't know the full details, but Gonzaga did really great. They're advancing in the tournament. I know they beat they beat McNeese just I believe yesterday, the day before. So yeah, they're actually doing really well.
As we move on to bits and breaks, I've got a couple goodies here. I just popped up. We're gonna do funny signs, and then me and Chuck will. For those of you that aren't watching online or the video feed, we'll try to describe them very well for you, because we know that's horribly unfair. Before I do that one, real quick, I saw this. I thought it was cute. It was awkward merit badges for Boy Scouts. Sorry, Boy Scouts. All right, you get a merit. These are the merit badges. There's one for pretending to text.
Pretending to text.
Yeah. For giving an actual high five instead of a fist bump.
Nice.
All right. There's a merit badge for calling someone a wrong name.
Yeah, Starbucks, I'm talking to you.
Merit badge for tripping in public. For talking with food in your teeth. Forgetting to take the tag off your new clothes.
Oh, I hate that.
Merit badge for assuming a woman was pregnant.
Oh.
Merit badge for thinking a stranger was waving at you and waving back.
Oh, that's happened to me like 3 times this week alone.
A merit badge for being able to rehearse your food order in your head before you get to the window.
Mm-hmm.
All right, merit badge for not leaving the house all day.
Mm-hmm.
Merit badge for being a third wheel.
Oh.
And a merit badge because your best friend is a dog.
Oh.
Not awkward merit badges.
That one's worthy, though. That one's worthy.
All right, moving on. Taking over my spot on the video feed. Some funny signs or signs that people made funny. First one here is wise guy haircuts, facials, waxing, massage, manicure. And then where they can change your sign, it says, if we can't make you look good, you ugly.
Sorry, we give up. It's the best we can do.
Now, this one looks like a typical, diamond caution sign. Mm-hmm. The yellow ones, it says, road ends in lake.
You might want to slow down, bud.
Yeah, road ends in lake. All right, this one from the front of Chuck's house, actually. It says, if our dogs don't like you, we probably won't either.
And anyone who's ever owned a dog will agree with me on this. If your dog doesn't like somebody, that's something to really kind of give you a pause about that person. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the same thing with people that don't like cats. If you don't like a cat, you're missing a soft spot inside you somewhere.
Well, when you're walking your dog out in public and they walk by 100 people and wag their tail and say hi, and then the one person walks by and their hair fuzzes up and they start growling, and that for no particular reason, you might, yeah.
Yeah,
That's something
you're going to think about it. You're going to think about it for sure.
That's something to be aware of.
I do the same thing with the Mooch the cat. You know, if she wouldn't go to somebody or didn't like them, I would kind of question that. And there's probably things we don't understand. So I'll share a story. I had a hippie girlfriend. She made what would be a protective circle at the entrance to my property that I had up in Kettle Falls. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like a protective thing, right? So my neighbor shows up with a friend and comes walking into the property. The friend stopped right where that thing was and wouldn't come on the property. Made an excuse, turned around, and went back to the neighbor's house.
Wow.
I just kind of sat there and I was like, okay, that was weird. Maybe it's working. I'm going to say it's working.
I had this older gentleman that I was working on I knew him and I was helping him work on his house, and he had this really, really sweet little puppy, and this other guy that we mutual acquaintance, we kind of knew him, walked in the house, and the dog just went nuts. The dog loved everybody. And the guy looked this guy straight in the eye and said, "Get out of my house and don't ever come back here again." He's like, "What?" He's like, "My dog doesn't like you. I don't like you. Something's wrong with you. Get out of my house."
Wow.
Yeah. Never spoke with him again. Up.
It's a deer sign like you see on the side of the highway, but it says next 1 mile, suicidal deer.
Man, they are, aren't they?
They are. All right. This one at a zoo, a big sign says, "Please be safe. Do not stand, sit, climb, or lean on fences. If you fall, animals could eat you, and that might make them sick." Thank you.
You got to watch out for the animals.
You got to watch out for the animals.
Yep.
All right, got some good church ones here. And this one says, from the Church of God, doesn't say what town. It says, "Honk if you love Jesus. Text while driving if you want to meet him." One outside of a park, a city park, says, "Warning, drugs sold in this park are of inferior quality."
The funny thing is that's probably more effective than no drugs or, yeah.
Yeah. All right. St. Joseph the Worker, Roman Catholic Church. Their billboard says, "We're still open between Christmas and Easter."
What?
That came up yesterday.
Yeah, the C&E something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Best Western Plus, their road sign says, "Imaginary friends stay here."
Oh, stay free. They stay free.
Imaginary friends stay free.
As opposed to
that'd be better.
Well, that's what it says. Stay free. They stay free.
Yeah.
What? As opposed to their competitors who charge an extra $13 a night.
Yes. Yep. All right. A sign for a business, no soliciting, or no, a house. No soliciting. We're too broke to buy anything. We know who we are voting for. We've found Jesus. Seriously, unless you're selling cookies, go away. Mm-hmm. All right. This sign says, "I just sold my homing pigeon on eBay for the 22nd time."
That's a good investment. I'm going to buy myself some homing pigeons.
Now, this one outside of Chuck's house, it says, "Do not pet the fart squirrels." Mm-hmm. It's got a picture of a skunk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then this escalator is refusing to escalate. This has been escalated to the engineer who is on his way up or down to check it out. You hope. This is my favorite. One. This is on an oil changing auto shop, okay, mm-hmm. where they do oil changes. And it says, "Pumpkin spice oil for your car." A little late with that one, but still pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I should do this one like a newsman. Breaking news: the pity train has just derailed at the intersection of Suck It Up and Move On, and it's crashed into we all have problems before coming to a complete stop at Get the Heck Over It. Any complaints about how we operate can be forwarded to 1-800-WAH-WAH. This is Dr. Sniffle reporting from Quit Your Fussin'. Probably could have done that a little better. This one you need to put up at the radio station, Chuck. It's a stress reduction sign, and it's got a red circle in the middle. It says "Bang Head Here."
Oh, I do like that. I feel like that sign should be one of those metal signs.
Yeah,
and then it would have that satisfying clang.
Directions say place a face in front of red circle. Follow directions in circle. Repeat step 2 if necessary. Of course, that's bang your head here.
I love it.
Just a couple left. Here's a notice. Notice. Thank you for noticing this notice sign. You're noting it has been noted.
There you go.
Okay. I'm confused.
Noted.
Thank you. And here's another caution sign, like the yellow ones in the diamond, and it's just in front of someone's driveway, and it says, "I'd turn back if I was you."
Mm-hmm.
It's a good deterrent to keep people away. I have 2 suicidal deer signs. Oops. And this one could, Chihuahua is such an artsy fartsy town. This could totally happen. Somebody placed a sign on the side of the road that said Art Festival with an arrow of where to turn. And somebody went up with red paint and put an F in front of art. This is something you could do in Chihuahua. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to pretend I wouldn't be amused.
Thank you for not pretending.
Right.
All right, bits and breaks this morning. More of them. Chuck, I want to know, who is your first celebrity crush?
I think that's probably a fairly easy one. I'm going to go with Jennifer Connelly.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're
and
kind of just showing off your age there.
And still holds to the day, man. She's been in what is it, the TV show about the train, based on the movie. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Anyway,
Jennifer Connelly. All right, anybody else? Childhood crush?
We were the same age growing up, so not weird to talk about it. But Punky Brewster as a kid, she was probably one of my favorites. Kind of sad when she kind of disappeared from the public eye for a long time. She tried to make a comeback a little bit, never really fully did. I don't know. I had a lot growing up, but Cyndi Lauper was one. Man, I had a huge crush on her. Some of the other singers. Oh, what? I can't remember her name from the Bengals. The one with the eyes that would look back and forth and the walk like an Egyptian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
right.
the girl from the Warrant Cherry Pie video. Which I don't think I'm alone in any of those though. So,
I don't think so.
No, I think that was the point of the video.
I'll date myself. It was probably like Farrah Fawcett. I think the biggest crush I had, a celebrity crush growing up, was Lindsay Wagner, who was the Bionic Woman. I had a huge crush on her.
Oh, yeah. For ones that were probably older than my age, Bo Derek.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She was a big one.
So now, ladies, we want to hear from you. So go to our video feed on Facebook and post your celebrity crushes. We are going to read what you say and your name, and also forward it to your husband if you're married. Especially if we know who your husband is.
Right. Maybe this isn't a good time to talk about the safe list.
All right. Another one for Facebook this morning. What's something that always makes you happy that doesn't cost money?
Hugs from my kids and my wife.
Oh, that's definitely top the list. Yeah. A second behind that, I would say when I come through the door and the cat's laying down and she reaches up both of her paws at me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pet related one lists are a mile long. There's a bunch of those.
All right.
A nice warm day when it's the temperature's just right and it's hitting you just right and you needed it so bad. That's a good thing there.
Yep. All right, here comes Chuck. If you're running late today, the weird excuses for being late, and I think the first one should be Scott and Chuck wouldn't stop talking.
That's happened, and it's been me and you are the ones talking that made me late. Yeah, and I've never in my life came up with a weird excuse for being late, Scott. Never once. Never once.
I remember your go-to one before you actually started working at the station when you were just doing the morning show was I slept in.
Yeah. Well, there was one time you didn't. I don't even think you believe me. My phone updated overnight, and it turned my alarm off when the phone updated. Yeah. So
it was the worst ever.
Right. So some of these are from Career Builder. They talked to hiring managers about the most bizarre experiences they heard for being late. Excuses, rather. My dog ate my work schedule. Aren't those all online and in our phones now? Yeah. My dog ate my work schedule. Have you ever actually had an animal eat something that you needed for real?
Never.
That has happened to me, and I just lied and made up another more bbelievable excuse than my dog ate my paperwork.
Exactly.
Because nobody's going to believe you.
No.
I was here, but I fell asleep in the parking lot.
Ooh. I like it.
I do think that one has actually happened to me before, too. My fake eyelashes were stuck together.
Okay.
Scott, happened to you before? No? Okay.
No, never.
No. I forgot I didn't work at my former employer's location and drove there by accident. This worker had been at their new job for 5 years. 5 years. Wow. This next one came from a man. He said, I had morning sickness.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. I believe, sir, that is called a hangover. Yep.
You're not pregnant.
My coffee was too hot, and I couldn't leave the house until it cooled off.
Oh. That's not going to go over well.
No. An astrologer warned me of a car accident on a major highway, so I took all the back roads, and it made me an hour late.
Good one. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a couple more here. Who are the worst tippers? And then Chuck's going to do a cheapskate contest.
Yeah.
I have been told I'm the world's biggest cheapskate. Chuck, would you agree with that based on things you've asked me to buy for the radio station?
No comment. I plead the fifth, Scott.
If you call me and ask me about spending money, what's my first answer usually?
Well, we have this free thing that it kind of works.
So you can't do it today.
Okay.
But when I first started the radio station, I was able to put everything technical as far as software and what we were using, and streaming, everything entirely for free. And I wanted to write a manual with links in it for people that were starting small community radio stations in small towns, because I'd been through it and I had this list of how you could do it at no monthly costs. And as you know, I was too busy to ever write it.
I like to joke sometimes this place runs off of a lemon, a dash of salt, and a paperclip.
And we found the paperclip.
No, I do have to say, Scott, you're the things you're able to do here with like zero budget at times are pretty dang impressive. The ingenuity and the MacGyverism of it all at times is really, really impressive. After I quit cursing your name, I say, wow, but he got this to work. This is amazing. Yeah. So
if an engineer from a commercial radio station in a big city walked in and looked there, go, this is impossible. I had somebody tell me one time I had to have a $10,000 piece of equipment up at the tower, very popular in radio piece of equipment called the Orban, which basically tweaks your sound, makes you sound as good as possible. It's FM radio, so it's never going to be CD quality, so there's that. But he was telling me I had to have one. And he was trying to pitch me to be the station's consultant. And I said, no, we don't. And he says, yeah, you do. You're going to sound horrible. And I said, well, you've listened to our station before. Does it sound awful? And he says, no, but it could be better. And I said, yeah, and I'm not using one. Especially for $10,000. You know, when a used one's $5,000, and it's like, yeah. I'll get an equalizer and put it in the middle of the system, which is exactly what I did in the early days. All right, let's quit talking. Worst tippers. This is according to the internet. Any group of children, sports team, scouts, etc. Always bad tippers.
That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't expect it from the kids.
People coming out of church on a Sunday because they emptied their pockets at the church, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody that claims, I'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to give you a good tip.
Yep.
Teenagers, they either tip really well or not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, people that ask for ketchup with their steak.
Oh. Have you ever worked as a server, Scott?
I have.
Yeah, I have too. I can say these are probably all true. You know another one. It seems like the wealthier the customer, the less they tip. I guess
they got that money,
right? They wouldn't be wealthy if they gave away all their money to servers and restaurants, right? That's not true. And I've had a couple of celebrities that I've waited on, and I know some people that have had celebrities that they've waited on that were really, really good tippers. One guy got $1,000 for like a roast beef sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about some cheapskates, and I'll tell you if I'm better or worse.
Okay. So the Philadelphia Inquirer asked readers to share how they save money. And these are what they came up with. This guy conserves ice by cooling drink cans in the toilet tank.
I would say no.
Yeah, not going to do that one. Committed composter who experimented with everything, including toilet paper tubes and dryer lint. I mean, a composter. I mean, you put this. A lot of people do that. I don't think that's that bad.
I don't think dryer lint's going to work in your garden, though.
Well, and actually, this is actually a pretty decent tip. It may be a bit hoardery, but if you're planning a long camping trip or something coming up, or just keep some in reserve and keep them in like a Rubbermaid tote or something, if you take your used dryer lint and you stuff it inside toilet paper tubes, bring those camping with you. Amazing fire starters. You can just a single spark and that thing lights right up. Put it under your wood and it works fantastic. That was
better than Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Ooh. And what if you put Flaming Hot Cheetos in the dryer lint and then stuffed it in there?
Ooh.
And then if you get hungry, you have a snack.
I'm amazed at how well those burn. It's kind of creepy.
It really is. And we eat that stuff.
I know.
A family that plugs a shower drain and uses the water to flush the toilet. I mean,
okay. That's
not terrible. Especially, people that live off grid. You got to conserve stuff. I can see that. That's fair. Family that plugs a shower drain and I already said that. Man who disguises weak coffee by putting it in a dark cup. I guess if you like it, sure. A woman shared the story of a man who invited her to a free concert in a parking lot, asked her to drive, and when she inquired about dinner, she said he ate a late lunch. Yeah.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah. Wow. So sorry. I'd had a late lunch. We're not going to dinner. Wow. A guy who, I don't even know if I want to read this one out loud. A guy who reuses his dental floss. He rinses it each day, and he doesn't reuse it once, not twice. He gets about 14 days out of it.
Oh.
That is disgusting.
You think that even start to smell bad? All right. All right. Worst one ever. This was not me. The worst cheapskate ever. Husband comes out of the bathroom, looks at his wife, and says, "I saved you the bathwater."
Well, that used to be a common thing back in the day. That's hence the term "throw the baby out with the bathwater," because the baby was the last in the house to get the bath, and they all shared the bathwater. And the water would get so dirty, you had to be careful that you didn't throw the baby out with it because you couldn't see through the water.
Yeah, but the dude had his own well, and it didn't have a problem.
Right. One of the things we did for years, I don't do it anymore just because we have teenagers now and the amount of trash we produce in our house is obscene. But for years, I refused to buy trash bags because I would just use leftover grocery sacks and just fill those up and throw them out as they came up. Trash bags are expensive, but yeah.
I totally get that.
Not with multiple teenagers in the house, man. You go through those grocery bags every 20 minutes.
Yeah. I was really disappointed when they stopped making the bags for groceries because that's what I used for cat litter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have to go out and buy plastic bags to make up for the plastic bags I used to get for free.
Do you not have at least the ones you can pay for at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Because here they're 8 cents a bag, I think, and if you don't bring your own bags, you have to buy the bags, but they're 8 cents a piece. Do they do that there?
There are no bags at the store.
Wow.
At the stores, no bag. Some stores will have paper bags, and they charge you for those.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get a plastic bag at a store in the state of Maine.
I will have to say you have to buy them, but the ones now that are available are really good quality. You can reuse
those extra thick ones. They had those before I moved, but you can't get they're not even available. There are zero. You can't buy one. You can't beg for one. There are no plastic bags.
Oh wow. Yeah, I have all my bags are sitting by the front door every time I go to the store. The front door of my house at home. Yeah. Every time.
Let's do this one, Chuck. Okay. Let's go back and forth and wrap it up here. The one that says, because I'm a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you start? And we'll just go back and forth. These are kind of cute.
Can we sing this in the tune of the song? Because I'm a guy, no. Okay. I won't do that anymore. So because I'm a guy, I must hold the TV remote in my hand constantly.
Because I'm a guy, when I catch a cold, I need someone to bring me soup and take care of me while I lie in bed and moan. You never get as sick as I do. So for this isn't an issue.
I believe that's called man flu.
Yes.
Because I'm a guy, I can be relied upon to purchase basic groceries at the store like milk or bread, but I cannot expect to find exotic items like basil. That's not true.
Right. You circle the store for an hour. Because I'm a guy, when one of our appliances stops working, I will insist on taking it apart, despite evidence that this will just cost me twice as much once the repair person gets here and has to put it back together.
Not true. It is cheaper. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
Over 3 days. And get most of the pieces back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those extra pieces are just extra. Yeah. Yeah. They do that on purpose.
It went back together without those leftover 4 screws. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are just, they do that. They do that because they count on you not putting those together later.
It's overkill.
Yeah. Right. They don't need that anyway. It's fine. Because I'm a guy, when you tell me we need to work together to prepare the house for a big event or out of town guest, I'll clean the garage.
Ooh.
My wife. My wife calls that cleaning the closet. That's our catchphrase when we have people coming over and I do a whole bunch of random stuff completely unrelated to cleaning the actual public areas of the house. She'll say, Chuck, stop cleaning the closet and work on the kitchen. Yep.
Because I'm a guy, I don't want to visit your mother or have your mother come visit us or talk to her when she calls or think about her any more than I have to. Whatever you got her for Mother's Day is okay. I don't need to see it. I don't need to know about it. Did you remember to pick up something for my mom too?
Because I'm a guy, I think what you're wearing is fine. I thought what you were wearing 5 minutes ago was fine too. Either pair of shoes is fine, with the belt or without. It looks fine. Your hair is fine. You look fine. Can we go now?
And on that note, we need to go run hide.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we're guys.
Yeah. I'm terrible about that. And it's truly because I love her no matter what. I think she looks great no matter what she wears. She buys clothes that look nice on her and wear those.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
So you said something about the newspaper. What's going on there before we go to break?
Yes, sir. Before we go to break, Chihuahua's Got Talent is on the front page of the newspaper today. We're in the bottom left-hand corner. It gives a little bit about what's going to happen this year and the dates and the times and where you can sign up. And just a little basic information about the timeline and a little bit about how this is our first time back since 2019.
Wow.
After a 5-year hiatus
of Chihuahua's Got Talent.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess this would be
episode 6.
4 years without. This is year 5, so we're back on year 5.
So episode 6, May 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to host, Chuck?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're the dude. You're the dude to get in touch with if you got questions. You can go to ChihuahuasGotTalent.com and get signed up. and you're going to be the MC this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm really looking forward to it. And we're just in the last couple of days, we've gotten a couple more people sign up on the mailing list. And yeah, we're getting stuff out. We got posters up. We're in the paper. We're really getting things ramped up and getting ready to go. I've got a couple more sponsors now. For the prize money. So that prize money is getting up. We're almost to where we were in 2019 and hoping to double it, Scott.
All right.
So
That'd be some huge cash prizes for
huge.
Wow.
Yeah, really, really trying to get people out and maybe get enough money in somebody's pocket to make a difference.
All right.
So that'd be really, really cool.
Locals battling it out for some cash. May the 4th. And of course, it's May the 4th be with you. It timed out after our 5-year break that it's happening again on Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
Yes.
And we're doing the whole theme. We'll have our Star Wars attire on. We invite people coming to the show to do it. I know Bradley's Taekwondo working on a Star Wars a demo. The last time they did an awesome play. And then, of course, as I said, your host, Chuck Ritchie.
Yes. Looking forward to
it. Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Yes. I do. There's so one of the most common questions that I've been getting that I want to answer really quick is, yes, it is Chihuahua's Got Talent because we are based in Chihuahua. Anybody from around the area is welcome to participate. You don't have to specifically be in Chihuahua. We could have called it Stevens County's Got Talent, but it doesn't flow as well on the tongue.
No.
So.
But yeah, we will accept entries from all over Stevens County.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. So looking forward to it. I'm really excited to see what people will come up with. And I'm really hoping we get all kinds of acts, singers, musicians. I'd love to see a magician, comedians, dancers, any kind of, performance art, and anything that you have that is a talent of yours. Maybe if you're a fire juggler or something, we might have to come up with something different for that. Maybe do it out in the parking lot or something.
And some of our past shows, except for the one for 2019, where our computer literally exploded. Somebody had switched a line and they gave us a powered speaker line into the computer instead of an audio line. And when the first strum of the guitar took off from the first act, the computer literally exploded and smoke boom, and smoke came out of it. And that was the end of our broadcast. So on YouTube, though, you've got 4 previous years, tryouts and the show itself. So if you're looking for some inspiration, those are all on YouTube for you to watch.
There you go. And that is KCHW tube, right?
Yep.
Or you can just go on YouTube and type in KCHW and find us.
Yes, totally.
And then subscribe.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
We need more subscribers on YouTube. We're never going to make any money there.
Right? Click that subscribe button.
We need more subscribers than there are people in Chihuahua. So tell your friends too.
Exactly.
All right, we come back. Local birthdays all the way through the weekend. We'll check out if there's any new movies. And, of course, we wrap it all up with the odd news. Stay right here, Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chihuahua's Got Talent.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Hello, Red.
Surprise!
Hail to the king, baby.
We are the Wild and Crazy Guys!
It's 8:30.
Programming on KCHW is made possible in part by listeners like you and by
Country Chevrolet. Country Chevrolet, located at 880 South Main Street in Colville, is a full-service Chevrolet dealership, offering a wide range of new and pre-owned vehicles with at-home mobile test drive service available. In addition, Country Chevrolet also offers maintenance and service, vehicle rentals, and full auto detailing. More information is available at countrychevy.com or by calling 509-684-8400. KCHW would like to thank Country Chevrolet for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheweLaFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheweLaFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Julia Chapman. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is meeting Israeli leaders to discuss ongoing efforts for a ceasefire agreement with Hamas. Earlier in the week, he met regional leaders in Saudi Arabia and Egypt to discuss post-conflict planning. It comes as a UN Security Council vote on a ceasefire resolution is due to take place on Friday. Caroline Malone reports from Washington.
The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the gap is narrowing between Israel and Hamas on reaching an agreement that could at the very least see a ceasefire and hostages released. But part of the sticking points remain on the timeline. Hamas wants a complete end to the Israeli assault on Gaza in exchange for hostages. Israel wants only a temporary truce. It's always said that it aims to completely wipe out Hamas. Well, senior negotiators, including those from the US, Egypt and Qatar, are meeting in Doha on Friday to push forward for an agreement and also to discuss a post-conflict plan for Gaza, which Arab leaders have said must include a Palestinian state. Caroline Malone, Washington.
Leaders of the 27 European Union member states are debating supplying military aid to Ukraine using profits from frozen Russian assets. Ishan Gerg reports from Brussels.
It had been proposed by the European Commission, but there are now concerns that it could be seen as a sign of escalation. Reports have suggested that there are countries like Germany and Austria which are concerned about this proposal from a cost perspective, but there are other countries like Slovakia and Hungary which seen to be closer to Russia, which may see this as a sign of things escalating from the European Union side, and which is why they may not be in support of this idea. But at the same time, the European Union leaders, especially the foreign chief of the European Commission, has said that Ukraine desperately needs this pot of money. Same calls have been coming from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Indian opposition leaders have called the arrest of Delhi's chief minister a political conspiracy. Arvind Kejriwal was arrested over corruption charges in a liquor policy case that allegedly benefited private retailers. His party has called the charges fabricated and urged supporters to protest over his arrest. It comes less than a month before general elections are due to be held across India. Priyata Brajabasi has more.
Kejriwal's arrest came after he missed at least 9 summons by the Enforcement Directorate in this case. Now, his government is saying that Mr. Kejriwal will remain the chief minister of the state. They've also requested an urgent hearing in the Supreme Court against his arrest. Kejriwal's supporters also clashed with the security forces.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. One of Britain's most unchanged institutions has been buffeted this week by criticism. The Garrick Club has been open for business in London since 1831. And despite the march of time, membership is still only available to men. No women are allowed, and several efforts to prise the club's corridors open to everyone, regardless of gender, have failed. This week, The Guardian revealed the names of scores of prominent figures who are members of the club, including including senior members of the government, the civil service, and the world of the arts and justice. Amelia Gentleman reported the story for the newspaper.
The reason why there's an interest in senior civil servants and senior politicians and senior leaders of publicly funded arts institutions in being a member of the Garrick is because of the concentration of power that there still is in this club. And the point that it's kind of just raises questions about a commitment that all of these politicians and leaders of arts institutions are making towards equality and diversity in their public-facing roles, which isn't then extended to their discriminatory membership of a club that excludes women members.
And since her story was published, several senior figures have resigned from the Garrick, though others are standing firm. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is meeting Israeli leaders to discuss ongoing efforts for a Gaza ceasefire agreement. Leaders of the 27 European Union member states are debating supplying military aid to Ukraine using profits from frozen Russian assets. And an opposition leader in India has been arrested on corruption charges less than a month before the country's general elections. That's the latest feature story news. Julia Chapman reporting.
Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. It is Friday, March 22nd. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and we ran a little bit late our first half of the show, Scott. So we're going to have to book it to the end of the show here. We got a lot of stuff to get in still.
We do. Well, let's go ahead and have you roll out those local birthdays because they're very important.
Yes,
and then we'll tease
are.
the times of shows this weekend for Stage Time Theater before we wrap it all up.
All right. Well, luckily this will be quick because we don't have anybody for today. Tomorrow we have Jackson Herda with a birthday. Sunday, that is split between 2 weeks and kind of hard to... Oh, okay, there we go. The 24th is Dalton. It's even smaller than normal. Dalton goodness gracious, Dalton. I apologize if I get your name wrong. Dalton Husflon? Husflon. Okay. You know who that is? Okay, there we go. And then good job, Scott. Thank you.
Well, I went to school with one of his family members, so.
Oh, cool. I actually really like that. Who's flowing? That has a nice flow. Anyway.
Right.
And then Monday we have Wyatt Smith, Desi Hicks, and Colleen Sparks with birthdays. Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthdays all the way around. If you know them and you love them, you see them around town, point and laugh and tell them we talked about them on the radio.
Yeah. Good job.
All right.
Okay.
Just a couple celebrity birthdays for today. News anchor Wolf Blitzer. Composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, 76. Wolf Blitzer, also 76. I should have thrown that in there. Bob Costas turning 72. Mm-hmm. Matthew Modine from the 80s. And then, of course, Stranger Things and Weeds. He's 65 now. Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele is 53. Cole Hauser from TV's Yellowstone is 49. Reese Witherspoon, 48. Constant Wu, 42. NFL star J.J. Watt, 35. Nick Robinson from Shadow on the Cold, Maid and Love Simon is 29. And then our big birthday today, William Shatner turning 93. Captain Kirk is 93.
The Shatner. You know, that was at the top of the list. I was sitting there wondering, why didn't you say William Shatner? And then about 3 names in, I'm like, I bet you he's saving that for last.
I'm saving the best for last. What is William Shatner doing for his birthday?
Going to space again.
No, but okay. I think he's been there. He's doing this, Chuck.
Romulan ale. Why, Bones, you know this is illegal.
I only use it for medicinal purposes.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Bill.
All right. My favorite Will Shatner drop in.
Gentlemen, beam me aboard.
And my most inappropriate William Shatner drop in right here for you, Chuck.
Okay.
Before I put you in the brig, there's a little something I owe you.
I saw a video the other day. I shared it on my own personal Facebook page. I don't remember exactly what the words are, but basically it's saying if you don't find farts funny, you're wrong. And you should, because you're going to have the same amount of farts in your life with less joy.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so sweet.
So there you go. There you go. You might as well enjoy it. Life is short.
All right. Let's go through special events and goofy holidays, and then we'll go right into entertainment. Chuck, you want to kick off some special events?
It is Gryffindor Pride Day. It is Broccoli Day. Is that one you're going to celebrate?
No.
I love this stuff, and my wife doesn't allow it in the house, so I have to sneak it. Or if we're out and about at an event, hide your broccoli because I'm going to eat it all. Love this stuff.
As far as foods that taste like dirt, I hear it's healthy.
I don't. Since I was a kid, man, I just love it. I used to think they looked like little trees, and I was a giant. Yeah, and then I kind of fell in love with it from then. It's As Young as You Feel Day.
That's horrible,
right? International Day of the Seal. It's Goof Off Day every day around here, and Sing Out Day and World Water Day.
All right. Looking ahead to Saturday, it's Cuddly Kitten Day. Aww. Also Puppy Day. A lot of cuddling going on. Chip and Dip Day, Melba Toast Day, OK Day.
That's okay.
Ravenclaw Pride Day. All right. So it's like this Harry Potter theme for the past few days. Tamale Day, Take Your Parents to the Playground Day. And World Meteorological Day.
Right.
How about Sunday?
Sunday. It is International Day for Achievers, Cheesesteak Day, Chocolate-Covered Raisins Day, no thank you, Cocktail Day, World Tuberculosis Day, Palm Sunday, and Purim. Do you know what Purim is?
I do not.
Neither do I. I'm going to Google it.
You're going to Google it?
All
right. Number of the day for today is 66,000. That's the number of artists who made at least 10,000 in royalties on Spotify in 2023. 11,600 artists who made at least 100,000 in royalties, and a small club of 1,250 artists that made over $1 million on Spotify last year. We are not one of them.
Wow. So Purim is a Jewish holiday that commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from annihilation at the hands of an official of the Achaemenid Empire named
Achaemenid.
Yep. Thank you. Named something that cuts off, and I'm not going to open the whole article. So.
Okay. Excellent.
There you go.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. In theaters and streaming this weekend. It debuted yesterday on Prime Video. I'm surprised it didn't go to the theaters. A Roadhouse, a remake of the Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor, apparently out of jail and able to do a movie.
Wow. Maybe he filmed it before he went to jail.
Which time?
Right.
So Jake Gyllenhaal had to spar with Conor McGregor. That's impressive, actually.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna throw back to the earlier crushes, Maggie Gyllenhaal. I'll add her to the list.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Keep going.
All right. In theaters, Chuck says he's going. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire with Bill Murray, Annie Potts, McKenna Grace, Finn Hallward, and Paul Rudd. What makes you excited for this?
Because I was an 80s kid, man, and Ghostbusters were my everything as a child. Okay. I haven't seen the last newest one, but I will see that before we go see this one.
All right. Next on the list is I lost it. Immaculate. This is Cecilia, a woman of devout faith, is warmly welcomed to the picture-perfect Italian countryside where she is offered a new role at an illustrious convent. But it becomes clear to Cecilia that the new home harbors dark and horrifying secrets, starring Sydney Sweeney.
There you go.
All right. And then one more for this weekend, Sleeping Dogs, a crime drama centered around a heist gone wrong with Karen Gillan and Russell Crowe.
And speaking of current crushes, Karen Gillan.
Okay. Are you excited for the new Beetlejuice movie?
Oh, my God. Yes, I am.
All right.
And
it is returning. A new trailer for the film has been released. Michael Keaton has returned along with Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and then Jeffrey Jones. Let's see. Oh, Jeffrey Jones does not return. He's been arrested. Right. Okay.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't talk about him.
Why, because it's horrid.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega, who worked with director Tim Burton on the extremely popular Netflix series Wednesday, also stars as Ryder's daughter. Additionally, Monica Bellucci, there's my crush, plays Beetlejuice's wife, and William Dafoe is a ghost detective. Wow, that is a star-packed movie. Crazy.
You know, I've been following this since they first announced the production. Again, Beetlejuice, man, that was one of my absolute all-time. It's right up there with Goonies for favorite movies as a kid. They're not doing any CGI for this movie. They're using all costume, makeup, puppetry. It's all going to be the exact same effects they used for the original movie. And
that's got to be tough by today's standards.
Yeah. And they've got Michael Keaton looking exactly the way he did in the first movies.
He's aged pretty well, actually.
He really has. And I'm really, you know, of all the celebrities that kind of faded out of popularity that are making comebacks right now, Michael Keaton is just one that warms my heart to see him really kind of just jump right back in the spotlight. He's Batman again. He's Beetlejuice again.
It's crazy.
I think it's phenomenal. And growing up, you know, Michael Keaton, I loved him as a kid from Mr. Mom on, you know. Just one of my all-time favorites. So I'm excited about this one.
Apparently another celebrity crush.
Right. And I want to set the record straight. I keep seeing it referred to as Beetlejuice 2. It is not called Beetlejuice 2. The official name of the movie is Beetlejuice.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
It does.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
I'm already laughing at the first one.
I was too.
All right, here we go. It is a news attack. First sentence true. Second sentence usually a bad joke. This one's pretty good, and Chuck gets it.
Oh, good. So a man in the UK was arrested after asking a bank teller to spank him. Yes, there is a fee for that kind of transfer.
Not at my bank. No fee spanking.
They spank you for free every time you have an overdraft.
I'll be down there in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes. International cheese competition named a Norwegian cheese as the world's best cheese. The best cheese is whatever cheese is closest to my mouth. Oh.
You know, ancient lore says you can fascinate a woman with cheese. Most women that I know will agree. They are fascinated by a good piece of cheese.
Especially if it's got the holes in it and you peek at them.
After a police chase in Brazil, the suspect started dancing because there's nothing like celebrating after you're able to cross something off your bucket list.
Huh. Yeah. Survey finds our favorite foods when we're boozed up is pizza, wings, and French fries. So the typical American diet, both times.
Right? I was going to say, man, that's just Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday.
Yeah. A study found that it's better for your kid if you don't help them with your homework too much. Sounds like a good reason to retire from an unpaid tutoring job.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid. Figure it out.
A study found it's better for your kid if you don't help them with their homework too much. Finally, my laziness is paying off in parenting.
There you go. The fastest group of injured motorcycle riders is people over 50. It's just so hard to find a bifocal windscreen.
No, it takes too long to get your legs out when you stop.
See people with their head tilted up high with squinting.
And my hip went out and I tried to balance myself.
That's me in the mornings trying to look at my phone to see what time it is and check my emails, man. I need to go to the eye doctor.
Walking.
I know. I need to go to the eye doctor.
Study found that wealthy people spend less time looking at others when they walk down the street. They're too busy looking for pennies on the sidewalk.
Everyone counts.
That's right. That's how they got there. We just discussed that in the last section.
Everyone.
On to Wacky But True. We've got movie and television sound effects to sum these up, and here comes Chuck.
Police in China caught a suspect with the help of her poodle. Police knocked on the suspect's door, but only heard the dog barking in reply. After they entered the apartment by force, they found no one inside except the poodle wagging its tail. An officer asked the poodle, "Where's your master? Are you alone?" The police left to search another part of the suspect's apartment, and when they returned, they noticed the dog staring at a bedroom closet. Hey, Scott.
Yeah?
Guess where the suspect was hiding?
Under the bed?
Yeah, no, in the closet.
The closet?
In the closet.
Hold on. I got some closets.
Nothing's coming out of your closet to scare you anymore, right? Yeah.
This is my supply closet. You'll find everything you need. Brooms, dustpans, insect spray.
That's the closet!
My dogs would be the worst snitches. They would never let me hide in my house.
Just keep looking at the door and scratching it.
Yeah. He's in here. He's in here. He's in here.
I think he's trapped. Help him. All right. Man ran out of a restaurant in Wales without paying. He sent police $85 and a letter of apology after 13 years. Wow. The unnamed diner sent officers a letter admitting to leaving the restaurant without paying a $15 bill. So I guess that's inflation since he sent in 85. The letter asked police to pass the cash on to the owners of the restaurant, which has been demolished.
Wow.
Good idea, oh Lord.
Of course it's a good idea.
Hey, what are you doing? Follow me. I have an idea. Now.
The idea is to let go. That's a fine idea.
Great idea. I like your thinking.
Whose idea was this? Huh?
It was old Ernie's idea.
The strain was terrific. And impossible though it seemed, he got an idea.
You know that guilt gnawed at him for 13 years. If he probably thought about that every day for 13 years.
Shouldn't have done it, but still.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Okay.
You know, you got to kind of think that might be like a pretty decent person if that's the worst thing he's done, to gnaw at his guilt for 13 years over, and then make it up. But you know, somebody who's not a good person wouldn't even think to do that. They wouldn't care. Yeah. They'd be like, oh yeah, they've probably done worse. This next one, a clumsy armed robber at a Dollar Tree store in Port Angeles, Washington. Been there. He got away with almost $2,000, but he also landed on the list of the dumbest crooks of 2024. The robber threatened employees Monday evening. He ended up dropping his bullets. 2 of them fell to the ground, but the guy still managed to get $1,894 in cash from the store safe before making a swift getaway.
Wow. So he's free too.
Wow. Yeah. It doesn't say his name. It doesn't look like he got caught.
Running around Washington, causing problems, being clumsy.
He may be clumsy, but he's got a tremendous right and a jaw of granite. Why, you clumsy!
Oops. Clumsy hippos.
I'm almost
funny if you'd have said that.
I'm almost more concerned about someone that clumsy running around at large than someone who was really skilled and adept at what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially dropping bullets and stuff. This is just dangerous.
That makes it worse because there could be an accident.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, man.
All right. I think it's me.
Yes, it is you. Your turn. Go ahead.
33-year-old Martinus Ashford in Nashville found sleeping behind the wheel of an SUV in the early hours of March 21st. Officers received a call for service, and when they arrived, they found the man in the back of an ambulance. Rescue personnel advised officers the man admitted to drinking. After medics released the guy, police talked to him, and he denied having any alcoholic beverages, stating that he just smelled like alcohol. He was taken into custody for driving under the influence.
Ooh.
All right, I have no sound effect for that. Just for this, for driving under the influence. Anybody that drives under the influence. There you go. Service message.
Yep. Yeah, don't do it. A Texas man was arrested for sneaking onto a Delta Airlines flight in Utah using a photo of another passenger's ticket. The 26-year-old man, Wycliffe Yves Florizard, faces a charge of stowaway in an aircraft after boarding Delta Flight 1638 at Salt Lake City International Airport. Florizard had originally been in Utah for a snowboarding trip, but was in a rush to get back home to his family in Texas. Due to a full Southwest flight, he decided to switch to Delta, but didn't have a valid ticket. He took photos. Using photos he took of another passenger's boarding pass, he was able to sneak onto the Delta flight without a legitimate seat. The plane was forced to turn back to the gate after flight attendants realized his seat belonged to someone else.
How did he think all flights are full nowadays. How did he think he'd get away with that?
Right. Like that other person's going to also scan their ticket.
Yeah.
And what did he do? Like, did he just like reach over their shoulder and beep, beep, take
because they scan it off your phone now. So,
right.
I mean, it was kind of a good idea.
I have so many questions, though. Like, did he just kind of hang out in the ticketing area until he found someone to take a picture of? Or he couldn't have made it all the way to you can't make it to the gate without a ticket these days. I don't know. It
kind of sounded like maybe he had one on a different airlines and maybe it was standby or something because they said it was full.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he did have a ticket. That's right. Okay. Question answered.
Right.
Sorry about that.
All right. Little something about cheating.
Right.
You cheated. Pirate.
You're a crook. You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are, huh?
There it is. That's it.
Cheater's justice.
Oh, God. Oh. Hey, no.
I love cheaters' justice. I like to dole out some cheaters' justice sometimes.
Right.
All right. In Japan, a man broke into a fish market's freezer and grabbed an armload of king crab and other seafood. He took his haul outside and went back in for more, of course. Only one problem. This time the door slammed shut behind him, locking him in the 0 degrees freezer. Fortunately, he had his phone with him and he called a friend. But unfortunately, it wasn't such a good friend. He called the police.
Oh, he used his phone a friend option.
Hey, want a cold one, Andy?
It's the way it flies, ice cold, no mistakes.
Thank you so much for being my friends.
You can do it! Ice cold, no mistakes.
Some friend, man. Wow. Yeah. So this next one here is summoned to a hospital in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, on the possibility that her son was in grim condition. Heather Inslee spent days with the dying man. He signed off on donating his organs and planned his funeral. She had a handprint taken of the deceased, and then she got a text purportedly from her son, which her husband thought was a sick joke. After another text, she called the unknown number, reached her son, who she hadn't seen in over 4 years. What? And arranged to get together in person. So the story here, the dead man had only looked like her son, enough like him to fool a nurse who had seen Inslee's son during a previous hospitalization. And with his half face covered by medical equipment, the man's likeness fooled his mother and other relatives as well. The hospital said the man has been identified correctly since.
Wow. To think that was your kid and sit there and hold his hand and all that stuff. Wow. It's kind of a happy ending story, but I'm going to ruin it.
Right.
Dead, Jim. She's dead, Jim. She's dead, Jim. Dead, Jim. She's dead, Jim.
Well, he's not as dead as we would have hoped.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
All right, one more.
Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not.
That's what I'm going to do.
I'm not dead yet.
Darn it.
I'm feeling much better now.
All right.
Wow.
This weekend, we kind of covered it at the beginning of the show, but in case you weren't there, we have a very big weekend in store for us. Now, tonight, there is a sold-out show, right?
That is correct. Sold out.
Sold-out show for Stage Time's production of The Wizard of Oz, but there are tickets available through the rest of the weekend.
Right.
Chuck, do you have those show times memorized?
I do. I don't have memorized, but I'm looking at the poster. So Saturday, 10, 2, and 7 p.m., or 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Then on Sunday is 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And those tickets are available at Acres United Drug, Valley Drug, at the or Valley Drug Store, sorry. They're available at the door, but you might not want to wait because they might not have tickets if you wait till you get all the way to the door before the play begins. Or they're available online at our.show/Chawila/wizard.
Okay.
So, and you can stay. I want to give a quick heads up. You can stay tuned right here tonight for, let's see. Oh, my goodness. And, of course, my phone is free. My computer's freezing up. There we go. So at 6 to 8 p.m., Best Classic Rock and More with Old Man Mark. He's going to be live in the studio. Then from 8 to 10, we are trapped in the psychedelic era with The Hermit. Then sticking around with him for Days of Confusion from 10 to 11.
Couple more things this weekend, too. Home and Garden Show. Don't forget, it's tomorrow, 10 until 3 at Guess Elementary. Chuck's going to be there. You can sign up for Chihuahua's Got Talent. As well, lots of vendors. So get ready for spring. And then on Sunday, our own Doug McQuain from Dirt Road Blues, which airs on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing a Blues and Brews jam at Fired Up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
There you go. Right, and don't forget about Chihuahua's Got Talent. You can go to chihuahuas.talent.com. I know you've been doing some work on the KCHW.org website. Is that available and back up again for people to go to? Or
and there's a link on the front of it, so you can just do northernlightspublicradio.com, KCHW.org, or go right to the sign-up form at chihuahuasgottalent.com.
There you go. And I probably should have checked that out to see how it looks, and I haven't done that yet, but I will.
That's all right. It's a work in progress. It's getting a minor upgrade, and we're hoping that sometime in 2024 we're going to do a whole new website.
Yeah, with I'm hoping to get some really cool features in there too. Some stuff for members and vendor and sponsors and all that. It'd be great. All right. There's information on all that stuff there too. If you're interested, just take a visit to KCHW.org, northernlightspublicradio.com, both the same website. Yep. There you go. And
have a great weekend.
Have a great one. And again, we're working on some huge cash prizes for Chihuahua's Got Talent this year. Going to be awesome. All right. Have a good one.
I'll buy that for $1. You can do it! You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.
Gentlemen, beam me aboard.
It's 9